Hey, we're back.
We're back. Went for a quick tea break.
Yeah, did you guys get some nice tea and biscuits?
Cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee and stuff. We know we left you hanging the last time because I'm like, you guys were like on the edge of your seats, like, eh. All right, sorry guys, but we're back. It's still Nikki, Laoye, and
my name's Snatcha. You already know that.
You already know that, and of course, it's the Snatchas podcast, and it's all about our baby miracle, baby miracle.
Oh, joy.
Same. Boss baby Kayla-Dawn. The story, the before, the during, the after, and the now. And the now. Yeah, that's it. And the now. All right. So where did we stop, my darling?
Okay, so
we're going straight into the gist. We don't want to waste your time.
So now at this point, the
miracle.
Yeah.
I found out I was pregnant.
4+ weeks.
Yes, I found out I was pregnant, and it was already like I was already far gone. But you know how it is. That's when the enemy comes. You know, with the thoughts like, this one too, you're going to lose it. She said no. Okay, it seems like we might bring our miracle on set. Hey, darling. She said, no, I'm going to be a part of this episode. Mama, she said, no, you guys can't be talking about me. The miracle called me and I'm not on set. Hey, everyone, this is Kayla-Dawn.
Kayla, say hi.
Kayla, say hi.
Say hi. Look over there.
Look over there.
Look at them. Not me.
Say hi.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the miracle has something there to be a part of the show. So, can you help me with that bit, please? Hey, Mama. Okay.
Yeah, why are you over there looking at me? I'ma just stand there. So,
Okay. So, of course, I found out I was pregnant. And of course, the enemy then comes in at that point in time with all the negative thoughts and vibes like,
if it happened before,
all right, you're
again.
pregnant. And so what? You were pregnant 3 times before and you lost them. So why do you think this one is going to stay? And at this point in time, I'm just like, God, let your will be done. I'm like, God, no matter what you decide, if you say she's going to stay or he or she, I didn't know whether it was a boy or girl at the time anyways, that if you're going to say that, it depends on what, let your word be final. You know, because whatever God says is final. And of course, at that point in time, I was just doing what I needed to do. Of course, the hospital, this time around, I told them I'm pregnant again. And meanwhile, I told them I was pregnant while they had called me up for an appointment.
Yeah.
They were actually supposed to check up on why I had the 3rd miscarriage. That was actually what the appointment was for this time around. So they had fixed an appointment, and instead I had to let them know, I'm pregnant. And they were like, huh? You're pregnant? Like how?
See?
They kept actually, they were like, oh, you're pregnant. Oh, really? How? Like, and I was like, naturally. Because they were trying to figure out, like, did you get some treatment done or something? I'm like, no. And they were like, okay, anyways, you'll do a blood test. Go and do your blood test. Come and do your blood test and all of that. And I remember that day I went to do my blood test. My husband dropped me off because he had to quickly go for another meeting and all of that. And I did my blood test and I was talking to the lady, the nurse that was in charge of my blood test. And I was telling her that, and she looked at my age. Of course, they can see all your details. And she was like, oh my goodness. She was like, you're in your 40s. Like wow, you're pregnant. And I was like, yeah, that actually this is going to be the 4th one that I've had 3 miscarriages. She was like, she said, don't worry about that. She herself, she actually had a miscarriage before and she now has a child of her own. See how God plans and arranges people to give you that encouragement along the way. And the lady said, don't worry, you'll be fine. That I had a miscarriage before and look at me right now. I have my son, he's alive, he's okay, he's well. That you know what you need to do? You need to go and do, she now asked me like, have you done a reassurance scan?
Yeah.
And I was like, reassurance scan, well, I'm not sure and all of that. That I was just told to come and do my blood. She said, you know what, there's this place just down the road, which we had planned to go anyways, down the line. She was like, there's this place down the line, this company where you can go and do your scans, or it will cost you some money, but at least you can be reassured that the baby is okay, blah, blah, blah. And this is something that, because we've had so many miscarriages, you just don't want to put your hopes up. At the same time, you don't want to go and see something that you're not ready to know yet and all of that. But she told me something. She said, just go down the road, get it done as you leave here right now, go get it done. And I was like, okay. And of course, I didn't even tell my husband. I didn't call him. I'd done the blood test. She even said, when you're done, come back and tell me the results, and all of that, and I didn't tell my husband, I didn't call him. I just went down the road. Luckily, they had a space because, this UK, they can be very appointment based on everything. And they just told me that, yeah, we actually have a slot right now. We can actually do a scan for you and all of that. And then, baby, can you hold her for me, please? Hey, mama. And I just had the scan done. And, while I was lying down and they were like, okay, and they were just checking the scan and they were like, and there's your baby. And I was just hearing the heartbeat was running so fast. I just started crying. I was just crying. All the nurses, they was like, oh, sorry. I was like, the baby is okay. They're like, she's okay. I just started crying. And they showed, the baby very tiny at the time. And they were like, oh, you're 9 weeks pregnant. And I was like, 9 weeks. 9 weeks. Like I was 9.
Like how?
Like how? I was already 9 weeks pregnant before we found out. Like, the way they do it for you, you can actually get your video recording and everything. And I got the recording and I was walking home. That day I told babe, don't bother coming to carry me. I'm walking home because it was not far. And I was just walking home. I was just like, I'm pregnant. The baby is alive. The baby is there. The baby is breathing. Heartbeat is racing like, I was just like, I'm pregnant. Okay, Lord, it's like this one is staying. Your brain is just going, And then I got home and my husband got back and I just showed him the video. And he was like, what's that? I'm like, baby. My husband was just quiet. And because, when you've gone through so much, you're like, and we just started thanking God. Yeah. My husband just held me, placed his hand on my tummy and started praying and like, God, if you said this is the one that would stay, let your will be done and all of that. And that is how everything just kept going.
So tell us about the process while you were pregnant.
And of course,
the journey of your pregnancy.
The journey of my pregnancy. And shortly after that, of course, that was sometime in like July and all of that, August, between July, August and all of that. And then, of course, I had to quickly, and that's when we now thought, I was like, I needed to write a song. Yes, I said I knew I needed to write a song to commemorate this great miracle that God has done. And that's when God gave me the idea of God, don't do them again. And of course, I was like, who can I do this song with and all of that. And of course, who can produce the song? And I got an amazing producer to actually work with me on this song. And we got the music together. And then I was like, who do I work with on this song? I had so many people I wanted to do the song with. And one person that kept sticking to my mind was Yo-Yo Michael. Yo-Yo,
you've always said you wanted to work with Yo-Yo.
Yeah, I've always said I always wanted to work with Yo-Yo. But my heart kept saying work with Yo-Yo is the person for this song. And I remember then I called her up and she's like, Mama, and Yo-Yo had been on my case. Mama, when are we doing a song? When are we doing a song? And I was like, Yo-Yo, have the song for us. It's called God Don't Do Am Again. I didn't tell her the story or the reason behind the song at the time. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm coming to Nigeria. Let's do this song. Let's shoot the video. Let's do everything. Because I realized then, oh my goodness, I'm pregnant. I'm going to start showing soon enough. Let me run to Nigeria and quickly shoot the video and everything before baby starts showing and all of that. So, of course, ran to Nigeria. Meanwhile, at this time, I'd not told my mom. I'd not told anyone. Only my husband knew. And, of course, I told our daughter, 7. Of course, she was the only other person privy to this news. She was so excited. And there was something also, yes, that I need to mention at this point in time. I think it's a very vital thing. Why I had to tell 7 was because 7 came to me just after we found out where we had done the scan. 7 came to me and said, Mommy, I had a dream. And I said, oh, what's the dream? She said she dreamt that she saw Mommy 1. Mommy 1 is 7's biological mom, the biological mom of the Fantastic Four. That she saw her mom in a dream, and her mom came into this house and actually said, came to her, told her something good is about to happen in this household. That something great is about to happen, and that Mommy 1 was all smiles and everything. And it just felt so, that was another confirmation God gave me. That was actually another confirmation, because this time around,
Because
our own
seven
one
that
of
had
our
the dream.
7 had a dream, and number 2, it was one of our very own angels that is watching over us, aka Jennifer. That was the one that actually, came to tell us this message through 7. So when 7 told me, I just sat her down. I said, 7, I need to tell her something. I'm like, Mommy is pregnant. And she was like, and she just hugged me and she was just screaming and jumping. She was like, that's the good news that Mommy was saying. That's the good news Mommy was saying. That's what actually 7 said, and I was like, yes, that's the good news. And it was just amazing that God is so mindful that he had to keep sending us this confirmation so that we would know that this was for real, and then next thing I went to Nigeria to go and shoot the video. And of course, I had to start telling few close friends and my brothers and my mom. And I remember I surprised my mom in Nigeria, like I had this lovely, cute onesie that I had to say, I can't wait to see you, Grandma. I had this special presentation just to surprise my mom. I also did the same thing to my brother, ex-Blaze, and his wife. And of course, I also did that to my besties in Nigeria, aka Loretta, Temi-san, my dad's choreographer, who was rolling all over the floor. Loretta's mouth was just dropped and stuff like that. I had to just make sure I tell, and of course I told Pastor Ifeanyi while I was in Nigeria as well. Then Pastor Paul wasn't around, he had traveled, so I couldn't tell him then face to face, but I made sure I told Pastor Ifeanyi and all of that so she could pray along with us and all of that. She was so excited and everything. And of course I told Yo-Yo while on set of God Don't Do Am Again video. And I remember when I told Yo-Yo, Yo-Yo broke down crying, wailing and crying. She was like, Mama, Mama, you deserve this. Mama, you deserve this. Mama, you deserve this. And she did not know that God had a plan for her as well. Hey, because God was actually going to show himself that he's the God of God Don't Do Am Again. Yes, because Yo-Yo right now is also a mom of a bouncing baby boy. That song has come full circle where the two singers of that song right now have a girl and a boy. That's another testimony on its own. So of course, we shot the video, did everything. I came back to the UK and of course kept doing all my tests, kept doing everything. And guess what, guys? Plus, like you all know, because a lot of people thought I was posting about my pregnancy in what they call it, so people post after they've given birth to a baby. So people thought I'd already had the baby before doing all my posts, because we now made our official announcement in December. Yeah. After we had released God Don't Do Am Again, we released the audio and we hadn't released the video yet because in the video my tummy was showing a bit and I needed to give it away. So we didn't want to show it yet until we had made our first official announcement, which we did with the kids in the park and all of that. And that's how we showed the tummy on set. And all of that to actually make the announcement. And then I think of the next week after that, we now released the video where you could literally see my tummy in the video because I couldn't really hide it that much. Even though some people thought even the video director did not. Samurai, sorry, darling. Didn't even know. I think he thought I just chopped too much or something, but without told him later on, that I was pregnant actually while shooting the video. And of course, the news now went viral. Everyone got to know I'd had the baby and I was pregnant at that point in time. And of course, it was just simply amazing. I had literally the smoothest pregnancy with this miracle baby of mine. Anytime I'm looking at her in awe right now because I can't believe it that, she was the one in my tummy and she gave me the best of times. Yes, darling, you did. I had a fantastic pregnancy. I didn't have morning sickness.
No morning sickness.
Remember
what we said about God showing us a token to say that, yes, I'm with this in terms of no sickness, no stress, no issues whatsoever, no unnecessary hospital visits.
None.
It was smooth.
I think it was just so smooth. Like God was just so good to me. Like no sickness, no nothing. I had the smoothest pregnancy. I was dancing throughout, like dancing nonstop, and I was still ministering in church. I was still working at church because, of course, I'm a creative director at my church. And Southend Christian Fellowship, our dear family, shout out to Peter, Christy, our family, Church Unusual.
And you know what's funny?
Everyone was
something really funny. The night before we went to the hospital for the delivery, we shot a music video.
Oh yes, I was going to get there. Yes, I was actually going to get there because that was how smooth this pregnancy was. It was so smooth, like we were busy dancing, jumping around, till I went to the hospital to have Kayla. I was still leading praise and worship at church. I was leading worship at church, both in morning service and evening service. We shot the video for Forever. Like literally a day before we had Kayla.
And we shot it ourselves. So while I was doing my bit, she was filming me. While she was doing her bit, I was filming her. There were times we had to pause. We're like,
yeah, because it was at the tail end. So of course, Kayla was pressing down into my down region, about to come out. And of course, that part where we have to start saying, yeah. We had to put somewhere in between, while shooting. But that was just how good God was throughout, the pregnancy with Kayla. The only thing was, of course, towards the tail end, which is normal, that happens to a lot of people because there's a lot of blood flow going on. Had a little bit of raised blood pressure, which they said it was normal because your blood flow is increasing. Your blood flow is increasing at that point in time. Thank you, darling. Of course, 7 is behind the scene to help us out.
Shout out to 7.
Shout out to 7. And of course, at that point in time, baby, you're already at the tail end and baby's coming out. And I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to have a successful delivery. And of course, it now came the day to have Kayla now finally arrive. We had prayed about this. The doctors had given us the date, time and everything. And no, I forgot to mention, when I went for the first scan, the first reassurance scan, I asked, they were like, I was like, what's the EDD? They told me, 19th of March. I started laughing. They were like, why are you laughing? I said, 19th of March is actually our wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
That was our white wedding anniversary. They were like, oh, really? And I was like, can you see how God is planning things? See how God was planning the thing. God was just so simply amazing like that. And then of course, by the time they now did all their checks and all of that, they were like, they wanted to induce me because they see me to be high risk. They didn't want me to wait to have a typical natural birth because they feel like I'm high risk and all of that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be induced. I've heard too many sad, crazy tales about being induced, which is literally forced labor. They're going to force you to go into labor. And I was like, no, can I have a cesarean section instead? I'd rather prefer if things are properly done, whereby you can actually make sure that I'm safe, baby is safe, we're doing fine. So, and this is just to let people know that there is nothing wrong in having a C-section.
No.
At that point in time, they had already termed me high risk because I've had 3 miscarriages before. They were worried about anything going wrong with the 4th baby. And they also looked at my age. I was already 44. And they just felt like we needed to have a proper way of getting the child out, a planned. Yes, darling, we had to have a planned way of getting Kayla out. And I told them I prefer C-section instead. They had asked, is either induction or C-section? I said C-section. So, of course, you don't choose your dates.
Yeah.
The hospital will have to choose a date that they believe they have a team and everything ready for you. We said, fine. And next thing, they called us to a meeting and called us for an appointment to tell us the date that they've given us. No. They said, we had a meeting with the doctors to check everything. And the next, they said, don't worry, we'll send you a letter and let you know what date you're going to have your baby. And when they sent the letter, I looked at the dates. I was like, okay. I was expecting it to fall on exactly March 19, and the date came and I saw March 17. I was like, 17? Why 17? I was like, that's a very odd number. I'm like, why 17? I was like, okay, whatever. Only for when I really sat down to think about it. I was like, why does that number ring a bell? Yes, darling. I was like, why does 17 ring a bell? And I was just like, 17. I just ran out there and said, babe, 17 is the day we actually officially got married. That was our traditional wedding, and our court wedding was 17th of March. So Kayla decided to arrive on the real day that we got married, which was the 17th of March. I was like, oh my goodness, God could not, God, really, really, this God, he just has a very, very high sense of humor indeed. And, and everything was put in place. Over here, they're very, very thorough. and detailed about everything. So I had to do some, even before the day itself, I had to do some tests and all of that. Once in a while, they had to put me in the hospital just to keep checking my blood pressure, making sure I'm all right and making sure I'm okay before the day itself. And of course, the day before itself, they gave me some things. I had to wash my belly. They gave me some medicine that I needed to take. They want to make sure that your tummy is clear and all of that before. They'll tell you to shave and all of those things before that. But guess what? The night before Nikki was supposed to have a baby, I was shooting TikTok videos. My husband said, this woman. I was shooting TikTok videos.
Even in the morning while we're going to the hospital.
No, wait. I'm even saying in the middle of the night. Babe, I didn't sleep till 3 a.m.
That's true.
And we were supposed to be at the hospital 7 a.m. I didn't sleep. I wanted to, because I was just excited. I was like, oh my God, by this time tomorrow, she'll be in my arms. So I guess the excitement just made me not able to sleep. But I knew I needed to rest and all of that. And I prayed. I wanted to just have my own moment with God, thanking God, because I knew by the next day, the pregnancy, my tummy would have changed and all of that. And the baby won't be in my tummy anymore and all. And that morning, my mom was here with us, and my mom prayed for me that morning. I was still recording, leaving the house. My kids were like so sad because they were going to be in school. Didn't want to go to school that day. She actually wanted to go with me to the hospital so she could be with me in the hospital and all of that, and of course at this time we've let close friends also know that baby was coming. Please pray along with us and all of that. We just let very close friends to pray along with us, and we went to the hospital. I was busy recording all the way to the hospital and everything. And of course, I called my pastors. He called his pastors as well. I called Pastor Paul to pray with me and pray with us. We called Baba. We called everyone. Pastor Chintok. We called them. Pastor Chintok was around. Remember? Pastor Chintok and his wife were actually around. They had prayed with us. They had been with us a few days.
So they went to Scotland.
Yeah.
While we
Yeah, they actually were with us. They had prayed with us, for the pregnancy. The delivery will go well. I'd called Pastor Paul Adefarasi, my dear Papa, as well. We'd called Baba, Pastor Chris Delvin as well. Our pastors here, Pastor Peter, Chrissy, were praying along with us. All our pastors were just praying along with us. And that day in the hospital, Nikki had to make sure that Daddy did a TikTok video with her. And that was the video you guys saw that went viral and all of that. All blogs were posted, was everywhere because I just wanted to dance. I'd said, Lord, I'm going to dance all the way into the theater. And that was what I did. I said, God, I'm going to dance all the way. And that's what it was. I literally was skipping and jumping into the delivery room. But of course, there was that moment of pure panic. Where by the time we got in, we had our playlist, we had a birth plan. Over here, you can actually, here in the UK, you can have a birth plan and tell your doctors what you want, what you need. And we had made sure that we had told them what we wanted. We were going to have our own playlist and all of that, of the music we wanted and everything to be playing at that point in time. Sorry, help me with that. Thank you, darling. Because her cuteness is distracting me. Because she's so amazing. Focus. Yes, Mama. All right. So we had made sure that we had our own playlist, our own music playing. Big shout out to our brother Dunsi Oyekon. Of course, Emperor of the Universe was number one on my list. And that song actually helped the beginning because at that point in time, they were getting my husband changed because he too had to wear an overall. I was already wearing my own, your scrubs. I was already wearing my hospital garb at that point in time. But guess what? I'm someone that's never been sick. I don't fall sick. I don't go into the hospital for anything. So I've never had a drip before in my life. I'd never had so many hospital scenarios before. So a little part of me was panicking. Because at that point in time, they're taking me there. I'd walked into the theater. I walked by myself, walked into the theater.
You didn't walk into the theater. You were dancing.
I was dancing into the theater. I danced into the theater. And of course, they had told me to sit down. And next thing, somebody's doing this. They're looking for a vein. Somebody's doing that, and I'm like, okay. Somebody else is putting on my compression socks, and then the anesthesiologist was tapping my spinal cord, looking for that place where they're going to give me the spinal. And I was just like, at that point in time, I was like, get your hands off me, get your hands off me, And I was like, where's my husband? Maybe where's my playlist in my head? And next thing, my husband just came in at that point in time, walked in, and then of course he walked in at that point in time playing Emperor of the Universe. It was just playing, and that song just calm me down. And before I knew it, they had put in the drip. Before I knew it, they had worn my compression socks. And before I knew it, they said, okay, hold this pillow, bend your back like this. And I was like, Lord, help me, that they'll get this thing one time, because I'd heard crazy stories about people that they tried to fix that for and they had to inject them like 3-4 times or something going wrong. I was like, Lord. And by the time they put it in, of course it did hurt, but not bad enough that you can't take it. And I was just like, and after that, all done. I was like, that's it. That's all. And of course, after a while, I started feeling woozy. You start feeling woozy all the way down. I couldn't feel my legs anymore at a point. At that point in time, of course, they're putting cold stuff on you. They're checking, can you feel this? Can you feel that? Can you feel this? So, of course, I couldn't feel anything anymore all the way down, everywhere. They had covered everywhere with the blue. I'm like, hey. I was just like, baby, this is it. You know, my husband was there reassuring me and all that. You can see everybody running around and all of that. And, of course, I was telling my husband, babe, hope your phone is not on flight. Put it on flight mode, please. Baby, flight, do not disturb. You have to capture everything. You have to record everything. Because we had asked for permissions to make sure that we're okay. They're like, yes, we can record. Once the baby comes out and all of that, they would let us know when we can record. I told them I actually wanted to be able to see the baby too once they bring the baby out. You have to ask for that to be done. At that point in time, they should pull down the divider and let me see her as they bring her out. Of course. Oh, we forgot to talk about the baby shower. When we found that I was a girl.
Well, we passed that now.
Because at this point in time, I said her, you know, that's also, because everybody was like, how did you know it was a her? Yes, quick throwback. I always thought it was going to be a boy. I always wanted it to be a boy at first. But of course, we had a baby shower. And I remember that day I was saying that.
What the Lord told me in the secret place.
I know
what the Lord told me in the secret place.
I know what the Lord told me in the secret place. I'm also like, your secret place. And of course, by the time we found out that it was a girl, I was like, my shock was real that day, because I was like, I really totally believe it was a boy. But who would believe it that it was going to be this beautiful angel? And right now, I'm just so glad that it's a girl, actually, because it's a mini-me. Yes, so of course, yes. Now back to in the theater, and of course, I told them to let me see my baby, you know, when the baby's out. And I remember I was still telling my husband, "Babe, what's going on now? Are these people not doing anything? I don't know what's going on. It seems like they're wasting time. Oh, I didn't know at this point in time that I'm talking, they had literally cut me open already. 7 layers, guys. 7 layers is what they cut to get a baby out. So for people that think a C-section is a walk in the park, it is not. It's actually one of the craziest operations ever done, because 7 layers of a woman are cut open to get the baby out. So at this time, Ashe, they were almost about to bring baby out when I was still telling baby, I see on Do Not Disturb. So when I was still telling him, you would see it in the recording actually, that I was actually telling him, my next day they said, Daddy, we're ready to bring her out. And I was like, they're ready to bring her out, like what? And next thing, you know, I just heard her cry. And of course, once I heard that cry, I was like, yes, that cry. And I was like, of course, it was louder than that. And I was like, so I started crying, oh my God. And of course, they pulled down the divider. They said, Mommy, take a look. And of course, I got to see her as they brought her out. I was like, oh my goodness. And my husband recorded everything so that I could see it properly afterwards. And of course, they went to clean her up and all of that. And like, it was all in like 30 minutes.
It was so quick.
It was so quick. As in like, everything was done, let's say max 1 hour. Max 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour was all the time it took for them to open me up, get Kayla out, and of course sew me back up. And of course we had our moment where, a skin to skin moment where they brought her to me and put her in so that I could have a skin to skin moment with her. My husband had made sure that she was properly weighed and all of that. She had been checked, she was fine. And he had cut the umbilical cord and all of that. And it was just smooth. And then of course they wheeled us out. I was literally carrying her because she was in my chest. And they wheeled us out, you know, together like that. To a recovery room where her vitals constantly were checked. I had to have a moment of skin to skin with her for a while though, because they said it needed her temperature to be warmed up enough. And we're just recording and of course calling family and all of that. And he was just a wonderful delivery. So smooth. Everything went according to plan. No issues, no complications. And see, that's one of the things we need to be grateful for the most, because a lot of crazy things can happen while you're on that operating table for having a C-section. There are many things that can go wrong, but God was so faithful. God was so good to us. I had a very smooth delivery with her. And guess what, guys? We were discharged the next day, believe it or not. It was just that crazy. Even that day, that night I spent in the hospital with her was one of the smoothest things. Like, we had her by 11 in the morning or 11:30 in the morning. By, was it 6 or 7 in the evening, they had come to get me to tell me to stand up, that I needed to start walking around and all of that. But before then, of course, my husband had gone to get the kids from school. The kids had come to meet their sister and all of that. They came with balloons and all kinds of, hugging mommy and kissing mommy and just making me feel good that day. I love you, my babies. And my mom was with me in the hospital because my husband definitely had to go, take care of the kids. Somebody had to be with the kids.
We're just switching, yeah.
We're switching with my mom and all of that. So my mom was with me in the hospital. And guess what? I was getting up to go and get Kayla's feed because then she was only able to drink like 70 ml of milk. I was the one getting up to go and make it myself. That same day I had Kayla walking to go and make the milk, come back, and all of that. And of course, I had a catheter bag attached because I had a catheter attached with the bag. And they said part of my walking around, I needed to go to the bathroom once it's full to go and empty it myself, which I was doing with so much ease. I was one on the lookout for other pregnant mothers around, who maybe they needed some help or some support. I was there praying. I was just praying and walking along the hallways, praying and speaking life to every baby and every, mom in there. Who would believe that? And that same night I started breastfeeding. I started breastfeeding the same night. I actually asked the midwife to help me out because she came and she was like, "Oh, mommy, what do you want to do?" I said, "Yes, I want to breastfeed." And she actually helped me, and immediately Kayla latched on. As in, like, the miracles just kept going one after the other like that, back to back. And it was just a smooth thing. By the next day, I was shooting TikTok videos. Shooting videos in Kayla.
We discharged about midday. We didn't leave there until almost midnight.
Not midnight, it was 9 p.m. It was just 9 p.m.
It
was 9 p.m.
We are from midday.
Meanwhile, the siblings were at home. They had
because
slept
we're
off.
shooting TikTok.
No, I was just shooting moments. I was just shooting moments. Like,
I guess it was. It's great to capture those times.
Yeah.
Because now you're thinking, you look back at it and just smile.
I look at it because the truth is that thing they always say that when you have a baby, you begin to forget.
Yeah.
It's so true that I'm so happy I recorded some moments because now when I look back on some of the videos I recorded that day, I can't remember when they even happened. I'm just like, thank God I have the video to be able to remember what happened, And God was just so good to me. And here she is,
Ta-da!
the beautiful miracle. Yay! Miss Kayla-Dawn. Kayla, actually short form for me, Kayla, who is like the Lord. And Dawn, of course, for God shall help her at the break of dawn. God is in the midst of her. She will not fail. That's Psalm 45, verse 6.
It will help her at the break
of dawn. So that's where Dawn came from. And she's also Oyenike, named after me. And she's also Omashola, named after my dad. Yes, my dad was Olushola, so we called her Omashola, which is the, Delton version of his name. And because my dad was partly Delton as well, so we decided to give her that. And
Delton is Nigeria, by the way.
99 from Nigeria, yes. By the way, she has so many names. Adioluwa Nimofishewa, Ayomide. The names just go on and on and on. But we just thank God for her because our miracle is here, and only God could have done it. Nobody else.
Yeah, and just to let you all know, keep trusting God. Trust God in everything you do. I mean, when God said to me that, when God gave me that token, He gave me the token plus a word. He reminded me of a word that He gave me earlier before. God is in the midst of her. He will help her at the break of dawn. And dawn is not morning. It's not in terms of chronological time. It's seasonal. It's your time. It's now. It's encompassing. It's God will help you when it's time.
I know the funny irony about that Bible verse was a Bible verse that I'd been holding on to as well. Of course, my very first favorite Bible verse is Philippians 4:19, and God also gave me God is in the midst of her, especially when I was going through so much, going through my divorce, going through that season of wondering, will I ever be a mom? At a point in time, I was contemplating actually not getting married again and just maybe get a sperm bank donation and just have a kid of my own and just be fine. Because I was like, I'm already in my 40s. What's the guarantee I'm going to find a man soon enough? What's the guarantee I'm going to get married again soon? I was already contemplating all of that, and God told me, no, girl, you are a family woman. You love family, and don't worry, I'm going to sort you out. And God told me, I'm in the midst of you. You will not fail. You would have that baby, you would have your own family. And that was all before, God sent the Snatchas into my life. And that's just God, how he works. But the truth is that I had to get to a point and a stage in my life where I had to say, God, whether you do or whether you don't, you are still my God. You have to get to that place in your life where you have to say, God, if you give me, fine. If you don't give me, it's still all fine. And that is the level I'd gotten with God. And that's what actually pushed me to write Trust You. Mama. That was actually what pushed me to write Trust You. And that's my song Trust You. You can find it everywhere. That through the fire, through the rain, through whatever, come what may, I'm going to trust you. Because I'd gotten to that stage in my life. I'm like, God, no matter what happens, you are still my God. I'm still your daughter. I believe your word in my life. And that is what I just want to encourage anyone out there to keep doing.
Yeah.
Keep worshiping, keep serving, keep praising, keep living. Keep living your life. Keep traveling. Keep doing whatever it is you do that God allows you to enjoy.
Yeah.
Don't stay in that place whereby, because you're looking for that, for your spouse, or you're looking for that blessing, you're looking for that miracle, then your life now goes to a standstill. God doesn't want that.
Yeah.
God is like, if you trust me, know that I will make it beautiful in my time. Because the truth is that God is working things out. He might have looked and realized that if you have a baby at this time, you don't have enough finances, you don't have enough resources, you don't have the right house, you don't have this, you don't have that. God actually checks and doesn't want frustration to come your way, whereby when that blessing will now turn to annoyance. God doesn't want that. God wants you to be in a place whereby you enjoy your blessing and enjoy your miracle. I'm enjoying this daughter of mine now because she came at the perfect time for us. Yeah. She came at the right time.
At the right time. Know what season in life you are in. Is it calling you closer to him? Is it the time to plant? Is it time to listen? Is it time to broadcast? Is it time to tune in? Know that season and everything will be fine. Everything will be fine.
Trust me, God is your father. He knows what you need. He knows what you deserve. Come on. You can just continue to stay in that place of trust with God, that God, you are not man that you should lie. That's what his word says. Stay in that place of trust with God, that I know you are working things out for my good. Yes, all things are working for my good. So I put my trust in you. Yes, I believe it. I got the victory. Now you give me this joy. Give me this peace. Give me this love. Give me this life. Everything combined. It all sets. Yes, it will be all set and put together, established and work together for your good. You need to just trust God. See, guys, this testimony here, we can talk about it on and on and on and on and on again, because we're coming from a place of people that just held on to God and said, you know what? We know you have said it. We believe it. We go and rest. We rested, and Kayla came at a time of rest when we're not even looking. Who would have a baby and get pregnant right on top of a miscarriage, in the middle of a period? Who does that? Only God.
Only God.
Because nothing is impossible with God.
Yes, sir.
Nothing. He can never fail. Does not exist. So we just wanted to encourage you guys with this. We want you to know that God, who started that good work of creating you, he will finish it and make it complete. He will make it good. He will not leave anything, nothing missing, nothing broken. Funny enough, it was a personal saying of mine. Happened to be my husband's favorite saying as well. So you can imagine two people having the same mindset, the same thoughts. If it's about, even getting a spouse, God will give you that right spouse that thinks like you, that actually has the same thought, the same belief like you, so that you guys, your prayers will work together, for good. And of course, whatever ways you've decided that you're going to hold on to God, he will show himself strong. Just keep loving, keep serving, keep worshiping, and keep waiting on God to show himself strong. Keep dancing like Nikki. Keep dancing in the hallway while you wait for your blessing, while you wait for that door to be open.
Yes, and keep liking, keep subscribing, keep putting your comments in the comment section.
Yes, sir.
I think we had a great time with Kayla. Do you want to say anything?
Kayla, do you want to say anything to them?
Just peace out. Tell them to subscribe, like, share.
Do you want to say something? Say something.
I want chop. I want chop. I I want drink
And she's the
malts.
best baby ever. No stress at all. Just give her her food and change her diapers. That's all. She's very playful. She talks a lot. She plays a lot. She's very loving. She knows how to give the best hugs. She likes to hold your hand. See?
And put them in your mouth.
And put them in your mouth.
In the mouth.
All right, guys. Keep, supporting us at Meet the Snatchas.
Yeah, we got more episodes coming your way.
Keep share this to someone who needs to see that God is still in the business of doing miracles. This child is a miracle, the one we waited for. And we know that we're going to hear about your own miracles very soon, too. A big shout out to our sister, Yo-Yo Michael, who has seen her own miracle as well. Yes, sir. We thank God.
Yeah,
we thank
so regretfully they tell us, but firmly they compel us to say goodbye.
We say goodbye to you.
All right, see you next episode. Peace.
See you guys. Make sure you share this episode with your friends and family. We love you guys. Bye.